What is temporary protected status? Temporary protected status, TPS, is a form of humanitarian relief that allows certain individuals the right to temporarily live and work in the U.S. The U.S. has a list of countries, the citizens of which can apply for TPS. While your country is on the list, you can continue to renew your TPS. If the country is removed from the list, you will lose your TPS and could be deported. If you are granted TPS, you will have legal immigration status in the U.S. as long as you have TPS, can obtain legal authorization to work in the U.S., may be granted authorization to travel outside of the U.S. The U.S. government can decide to designate a country for TPS due to temporary conditions such as ongoing armed conflict, an environmental disaster, or other circumstances. There is no guarantee that a country will receive TPS designation even if it is experiencing one of these conditions. What happens if the government decides to end TPS designation for your country? Individuals who have been granted TPS are allowed to stay in the U.S. for a period of 18 months, but this can be extended indefinitely by the government. If the government decides not to renew TPS designation for your country, you will lose your TPS. Unless you are eligible for a different form of status in the U.S., you will not have a legal status and could be deported back to your home country. Who is eligible? To be eligible for TPS, you must be a national of a country designated for TPS or a person without nationality who resided in the TPS designated country before coming to the U.S. There are certain periods of time where you can register or re-register. To be eligible, you must register within the specific registration period or meet the requirements for late initial filing during any extension of your country's TPS designation, and have been continuously physically present and residing in the U.S. since the effective date of the most recent designation date of your country. If you arrive to the U.S. after your country's date of the TPS designation, you will not be eligible for TPS unless the U.S. government decides to extend the date. You are not eligible for TPS if you are a convicted felon or have 2 or more misdemeanors, or if there are non-waivable criminal and security-related grounds against you, are subject to any of the mandatory bars to asylum, including participating in the persecution of another individual or engaging in terrorist activity, fail to meet the requirements for continuous physical presence and residence in the U.S., fail to meet the initial or late TPS registration requirements. For information on how and what to file, visit our website at www.alotrolado.org/info. Thank you.